Great. So hi, good morning, everybody. Everybody is ready. Thank you. So there's one person coming. All right. Okay. So today is 3rd of April. So 2 days ago was April's Fool. So I hope you guys, none of you got pranked too hard. All right. And hope you guys are healthy and all that stuff. All right. So today I'm going to introduce something that most of you, yes, Zoe, you may. All right. So I'm going to introduce something that most of you already know. All right. But you may not realize. Okay. So knowing something and realizing something are two very different things. All right. So you might know about the WH questions, but you guys might not realize how useful the WH questions is when you are writing essay. All right. So before I show you what WH questions are, all right, most of you probably already know. So can some of you give me some examples? Maybe each one give one example of a WH question if you do know what are WH questions. All right, can someone give me an example? Actually, can everyone give me, yes?
Who?
Yes, correct. So who is a WH question? Yes, Zoe said where, correct. All right, what, correct. How about anyone else? There is a lot. I have like 7 here today that I'm going to introduce and teach you how to use. When, correct. So we got who, what, where, when. So yep, I want to see if you guys can catch the whom. Yes, info, that's a good one. Whom. All right, there's 2 more. Actually, there's quite a few more actually. There's 9. I have 9. Whose, how, yes. So we got who, what, where, when, whom, whose, how. So we got 2 more. There's 2 more. All right. Anyone can catch these 2 more? All right. No. Okay. So and by the way, if you guys have want to say something in the chat, and if it's not like a private question, I'll try to put it in the main chat so everyone can see. All right. So, but of course, if you have a private question, then you can ask privately. Okay. So here are some examples that I can dig out. Okay, in my research of WH questions. So we got what. So some of you said what. We got who. All right. Whom. Whose. All right. We got which. Okay, we have which, we have when, we have where, we have why, and we have how. So these are 9, all right, that I can find so far. Okay, I'm sure I'm missing 1 or 2, maybe not, but this is probably what I can find, that I can dig out. All right, so these are the WH questions. All right, why do I say that WH questions are useful in your essay? All right, so in, I think, SPM, you have, yeah, your third essay is about 250 words, and in PT3 your second essay is 120 words. All right, so this question can actually help you make your essay longer. Why? Because WH question, all right, when you ask a WH question, the answer is not yes or no, because there are questions where I ask you, for example, can you turn on your camera, and then the answer would be yes or no. Am I right? If I say, can you turn on your camera, I will answer is yes or no. But if I ask you, why can't you turn on your camera, then you will give me a longer answer. Am I right? Not as long, all right, but definitely longer than a yes or no. All right, so, and this is a trick that has been used by many teachers over many years. All right, using WH questions to write essays. All right, specifically to write explanation of the things. So for example, last week we did communicative essay. So I'm going to take the PT3 one, the communicative essay. All right, you choose something, and then you have to explain your choice for that thing. And you can actually use WH questions to explain your choice of the communicative essay that you wrote. Okay, so WH question, also known as WH interrogatives, information questions, information seeking questions, and content questions. All right, so you don't really have to copy this, but there is a lot of notes later that I hope that you guys will copy, but it's a very short notes. All right, very short notes, so don't have to panic. All right, short notes. Okay, so you don't have to copy this. So the first one that I want to introduce is what and which. So when we think of what, we think of, okay, what, am I right? And which. So what versus which? What is the difference between what and versus which? Okay, technically, like what what is your favorite color? Which is your favorite color? Technically, you can use them the same way. Am I right? What is your favorite color? Which is your favorite color? All right. So what is the difference between what and which? Okay, before I show you guys the answer, anyone wants to guess what's the difference between what and which? So this is pronounced as which. Okay, the CH sound. Okay. So anyone wants to guess what's the difference between what versus which? So today's class is a little bit grammar also, all right? So you guys can learn a bit of grammar. So anyone wants to guess?
Which is for decisions.
Yes, correct. Which is for decision. But when you think about it, what is also for decision? Am I right? For example, like I said, what is your favorite color? Which is your favorite color? So both are for decision, but good try, Simin. Very good try. But what is the difference? There is a very, very small difference. Both is used for the same thing, but there's a very, very small difference. All right. So the small difference is that, all right, what asks for information about something, or I would say I didn't type it out, maybe I should type it out later. Okay, let me introduce which first. While which, okay, which is for choice. So the difference is that when you're asking what, there is no choice given to you. When you're asking what, there is no choice given to you. For example, what is your favorite color? Then means I didn't give you example. But if I say which is your favorite color, before asking the which, I would have given you choice. For example, oh, we have blue paint, pink paint, and red paint. All right, which is your favorite paint? Where else, if I'm using what, it's a very open question where I did not give you guys any choice. All right, so that's why it's considered asking information about something. So that's why you can say what is your name, but you cannot say which is your name because you didn't choose your name. Am I right? So what is your name, but you cannot ask which is your name. All right, so that is the main difference between what and which. What is asking general information where there is no choice given, whereas which is asking you about which one you want to choose. All right, so that is the difference between what and which. That's why when I ask the question, what is your favorite color? You can change it to which is your favorite color, but you cannot say which is your name. All right. So another way you can use what is to ask for repetition and confirmation. So this one I'm sure everyone knows. All right. For example, someone said, "Hey, blah, 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 blah," and then you cannot hear. Am I right? Because maybe the person talked very soft. It's like, huh? What are you saying? I cannot hear you. All right. So you can use the question what to ask repetition. Of course, this one you can't really use in essay, but you can use essay for this one, asking for information. All right. Ask yourself. For example, you're writing an essay about camping, all right? SPM, question the third essay, SPM, your essay C. Maybe they ask you to write a story about camping. So camping, what happened at the camping? And then how did this happen? All right, so you can use what to write the main point of your essay. All right, even in PT3, your second essay, notes expansion, what? All right, let's say festival, what festival you celebrate? All right, what? What else? Which is asked about choice. All right, like I said, there will normally be a choice given to you already. For example, in front of you, I put 3 colors. And then I said, which of these 3 colors is your favorite? All right, so that is the main difference between what versus which. Everybody okay with that? So this is a bit of a grammar today. All right, but I will get to the activity and you will see how it relates to the essay. All right, so is everybody okay with this? Yes or no? All right, okay, how about everybody else? I have 15 of you guys. I have 1 person answering. All right, yes, yep, all right, okay, yep. All right, okay, thank you. Okay, so for those who just came in, okay, because just now a few people came in. So do you mind changing your name to, let's say if my name is Vivian Chan, change it to Vivian Chan F1 if you are from 1. F2 if you're from 2, F3 if you're from 3. All right, so when Miss Vivian is taking attendance later, it will make my life way easier. All right, so this is it. So next, move on next. We have when. So when is normally time. Okay, everyone knows this. When is asking about time. All right, when is your birthday? Okay, let's go back to the camping example. Okay, write an essay about something you did last weekend. So you ask the question, what did you do last weekend? Last weekend, I went camping. All right. So yeah, when? I went last weekend. All right. So yeah, that's a bad question because I already said when. So yeah, talk about an activity that you like. Okay. What is the activity? I like to read. So when do you normally read? Okay, I read at night, for example. All right, so it's asked about time. Sometimes you can say when it happened, when the thing happened, when the thing will happen if the thing has not happened yet. But when people ask about when, it's normally about time. All right, normally about time. Okay, so this is very straightforward. Everybody knows this. So next we have where. So where is place or position. Okay, place or position. Okay, for example, where do you live? So I'm asking for your location. Okay, let's go back to the example. An activity that you like. What activity do you like? I like to read. When do you read? I read at night. Where do you read? I normally read in bed in my bedroom. Okay, so by asking these three questions, you already have a short paragraph that you can write already. Okay, by asking these three questions, you already have a short paragraph to write already. You can even ask which types of books you like. All right, you have a choice. Which types of books you like? Oh, I like fantasy books. All right, I like science fiction books. All right, so use these questions for the activity that we are going to do later. Okay. So this is the one where I want you guys to pay attention to. All right, who versus whom versus whose. All right, so everyone know what is who, but who here has not heard of whom, has not heard of whose? Anyone here who have not heard of whom and have not heard of whose? Anyone here has not heard of this? Who here has not heard of this? Okay, so someone said never heard of whose, so maybe you've heard of whom. How about everyone else? Okay, who here has heard all three? Because no one is replying, so I assume everyone has heard all three. So for those who already heard all three before, can you tell me who you are? All right, Infeng, Shi-en, okay. All right, and that's it. I have 3 people answering me from 15 people. All right, so anyway, I'm just going to continue to introduce to you guys what is who, what is whom, and what is whose. So both, all these 3, who, whom, whose, is asking about people. Am I asking about people or person, singular, are asking about people. But what is the difference between who, whom, and whose? All right, so the difference is that whom is subject, whom is object, and whose is possessive. Okay, so I know SOP, huh? Miss Vivian, why teaching English suddenly got SOP come up? All right, so what is S, what is O, what is P? So S is, okay, can I change color? Probably not. So S is subject. Okay, sorry for the ugly handwriting. S is subject, O is object, and P is possessive. Possessive. All right. So the best difference the best example I can give you guys is she versus her versus hers. Okay, so this is for girl. So for boy would be he, him, his. All right. The difference between who versus whom versus whose is the answer. Is the answer. So let's look at the questions. For example, ask about what or which person or people, but in subject. All right, subject. So what is subject? So if you guys are my student, you guys will probably heard me say, whenever subject means the main character of the sentence. In a sentence, you will have subject, action, and object. For example, she is eating her food. So the subject is the main character of a sentence because the subject is the person doing the action. All right, subject means main character. Okay, main character. All right? Or the person doing the action. So when you ask who, all right, the answer, okay, for example, who opened the door? Who is doing the action? It will be she or he, okay, or they, or it. Or subject, you can also give name, all right, Maria, Vivian, Isabella, Jessica, Peter, all right. So who asked for who, when you're asking the question who, it will be subject. So next, all right, we have whom, all right, whom, all right, ask what or which person of people, but for object. So like I said, right, she eats her food. So you have subject, the she is the one doing the action. You have the action, which is eating, and food is the object. All right, so object means the thing or the person that the action is being done onto. Okay, so that's why whenever you ask whom, all right, whom should we send the invitation to, you will say send it to her. The answer is her. All right, but people don't say the word whom. All right, people will normally say who should we send the invitation to. You guys won't actually use the word whom should we send the invitation to. Am I right? This is because it's not common and it doesn't really sound natural. Okay, one rule in English is that whenever you speak, all right, it must sound natural. If it doesn't sound natural, it's probably wrong. That is the Median's rule in English lah. If it sounds weird, it's probably wrong. But we say whom is probably one of the few exceptions where it sounds weird, but it's correct. Okay, the only reason it sounds weird because we don't use it that often. All right, so whenever you have whom, the answer should be her, him, them. All right. Okay, so her, him, them. The last example is whose. So whose is asked about ownership. All right, means belonging. That's why I said possessive. All right, ownership. Who owns this thing, basically? Whose keys are those? They are hers. Okay, so that's why whenever you have whose, the answer will always be hers, his, theirs. All right, so that is the difference between who, whom, and whose. So that's why next time when you're asking a question and you're not sure, should I use who? Should I use who? Should I use who? Should I use whom? Should I use whose? Very easy. Just find the answer. If you're thinking, oh, I don't know whether this one I need to use which one, then oh, the answer should be she needs to do this. All right. So then you know that the question is asking about who. All right. If the answer is, oh, it belongs to her, then you know that the answer is whom. If it said, oh, the pen is hers, then you know the question is asking whose. So that is the difference between who, whom, and whose is the answer. Okay, so if the answer is she, he, they, it is who. If the answer is her, him, them, it is whom. If the answer is hers, his, theirs, the question would be whose. All right, so that's the difference between who, whom, and whose. Everybody okay? Everybody okay? A bit too much? All right, okay, okay. All right, so we have, okay, let's go back to the reading, okay, reading an activity that you like to do. What is the activity? I like to read. All right, which type of books do you like to read? I like to read science fiction book. Where do you read? All right, oh, I read in my bedroom. When do you read? All right, I read at night before I go to sleep. Now, who do you read with? Okay, I read with my sister. All right, whom? Okay, maybe whom, I don't know how to ask a question, but whose books do you normally read? I read my mother's books. All right, so explain. Whenever you don't know what to write, ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself this question, and you will have more things to write in your essay. Okay, so next we have why. So I'm sure everyone is feeling like this right now. COVID everywhere. We have to wake up early on Sunday to go to class. Oh my God, why? Am I right? Everyone is like this right now. Okay, so why is for reason. So why do you do this? Okay, why do you say that? All right, back to the example. Why do you read? Oh, I read because I think reading is fun. Okay, so most of you would disagree with that statement because most of you don't like to read. All right, but for those who do read, you guys will know that reading is really fun. Okay, why? Okay, and I think this is the last one. How? All right, how? So ask about manner or method, 方法. All right, how you do that thing. How does it work? All right, the method. How does it work? How did you do that? All right, your 方法, how you do it? How you do it? All right, so let's ask about that. So for example, or you can ask about basically how is your feeling, manner. Am I right? The quality or the property. For example, ask about condition or quality. How was your dinner? All right. How does reading make you feel? How was your day? All right. Was your day good? Was your day bad? All right. So how can ask about manner or method means 方法 or about the quality or condition. How does it make you feel? Make you feel sad? Okay. How does it feel that you have to go to school even though COVID is getting higher and higher? Oh, I feel scared. All right. How was the pasta I cooked for you? Oh, it wasn't nice. It was too salty. Okay, so it asks about manner and method, or it could ask about condition and quality. All right, so this is basically all the WH question I can find. Yep, all the WH question I could find. So anyone has any questions regarding the WH question before I show you guys how to do the activity of the day? Okay, no? How about everyone else? Everyone else have any questions? Okay, Ninfeng no question, Guangko no question, Xie no question. Okay, nope. All right. Okay. So, do you guys want to copy the notes? Do you guys want to copy? Because I normally ask my students to copy, but maybe I do the activity first, then I'll let you guys go back and copy. Okay, I'll do the activity first and I'll let you guys go back and copy. Or do you guys want to copy now? Never mind, we do the activity first. Okay, if not, I'll just upload it to Classroom. All right. So WH questions. All right. So these are the WH questions. There are 9 of these WH questions. So the activity that I want you guys today is write an outline of a story. Okay, no matter how crazy. Okay, it could be anything. Could be alien kidnapping. Could be your house burning down. It could be something sweet like going to a picnic, going to camping, celebrating Mother's Day. But I want you guys to try and write an outline of a story. Okay, this is not homework. This is just an activity in class that I will give you time later to do with at least 5 of these WH questions. Okay, with at least 5 of the WH questions. All right, so I have prepared one. So I'm going to show you guys what I did. Okay, I wanted to do alien story, but I scared later it's a bit too funny and you guys don't like it. So I have a easier one. Okay, for example, okay, I will start with the word who. Okay, I would like to start with the word who. Okay, because I need a main character. Am I right? I need a main character. So who? Peter. Okay, who is Peter? We will find out who is Peter later. Okay, so who? Peter. Then you can ask some more. Who is Peter? I don't know who is Peter. Okay, which I will explain later. So I can say what. Okay, so who is who? Peter. What did Peter do? Peter stole a car. All right, Peter stole a car. Whose car did Peter stole? David, who lives at the end of Lorong Mawar. So we have now who? Peter. What did he do? He stole a car. Whose car did he steal? David, who lives at the end of Lorong Mawar's car. All right. When did he steal the car? Last night. All right. Why did he steal the car? Because his own car ran out of petrol. All right, with these sentences, and you can explain, you can explain who, Peter, then you can further explain who is Peter, and then you can write another sentence. What did he do? He stole a car. What car did he steal? Red Toyota Vios from with what specs. Okay, you can explain. Whose car? David, who lives at end of Lorong Mawar. Where is Lorong Mawar? In, let's say, Taman Huda. Okay, when? Last night. Last night, when exactly? Last night at 10 p.m. Why? Because his own car ran out of petrol. Why did his car run out of petrol? Because he don't have any more money to buy more petrol. All right. For example, remember this is a question. Okay. Later the game, I will ask you guys to I will keep asking you guys to, you guys give me your answer. All right. And I'll keep asking you guys questions. And I want you guys to try and think of ways that can make your essay even longer based on your 5 questions. All right. So I have all these examples. Who? Peter. What? Stole a car. Who's? Davy, who lives at end of Lorong Bawah. When? Last night. Why? Because his own car ran out of petrol. So now I have everything. I can put everything in paragraphs and I can write a very, very short essay. Last night, when a strange noise came from the end of Lorong Bawah, but since it was late, no one bothered to check. It was found this morning that someone has stolen poor David's car. The police was called and quickly got to work. In less than 2 hours, they managed to capture the culprit. It was Peter from Lorong Orchid. When asked about why he did it, he simply replied that because his own car had no more petrol. All right, can you make this essay longer? What do you guys think? Do you think that Miss Vivian can make this essay even longer? Yes or no? Everybody? Okay, so someone say yes. Yes. Yes, you can. All right. I didn't even mention who is David. So David, who lives at end of Lorong Bawah. So in less than 2 hours, they managed to capture the culprit. You can ask, how did they capture the culprit? All right. Maybe they check CCTV, or maybe they check the car tire track. All right. Why he had no petrol? Oh, because he didn't have time to get petrol, or because petrol prices raised up. Now it's like what, raw 95, raw 97 is like 5 ringgit per liter. It's so expensive, am I right? So you can say all that stuff. All right, and you can put together and write an essay. So I'm not sure how many words this is, but let me check because I was also very curious. I didn't check how many words this is. So let me just check how many words this is. All right, this is when I'm opening the thing to check how many words this is. Yeah, this is 80 words already. This is 80 words already. So this 80 words is the length of your communicative essay. All right. Of course, this is not communicative essay, but can you write an 80-word communicative essay with 5 WH questions? Yes, you can. And I've given you guys 9 WH questions. You can sure write more than that, no problems. All right. So now I want you guys to write your own little story. Not homework, you can just write it down in a piece of paper, all right? If you want to put it in paragraph, you can. But I just want you guys to move your brain a little bit because I know it's Sunday, all right? And I want you guys to sort of have fun without being so stressed out. So your turn. I want you guys to choose 5 WH questions that you guys would like to use. And I want you guys to write a story. Okay, write an outline like this and tell me the story. Remember, it can be as crazy, right? My original thought, what I want to do is I want to write alien, all right? And I want to, and he stole a car because his UFO ran out of petrol. That is the thing that I originally wanted to write. But then I scared later you guys cannot understand my joke and you think that Miss Vivian is lame. Okay, so that's why I changed to Peter instead of alien from Panax XD. Okay, so you can write as crazy as you want. All right, make me laugh. Okay, if you don't want to make me laugh, if you want to make me cry, also can. A good cry, not that cry. All right, or if you just want to write a simple short story about a picnic, about a festival, anything also can. But I want you guys to write an outline. You've at least you can use more than 5 with at least 5 of these WH questions. All right, and then I will ask randomly, okay, for you guys to share with my story. So obviously I cannot ask all 15 of you to share your story with me, but I will ask randomly and I want you guys to share your story with me. All right, so I'll give you guys about 15 minutes to do this. Do you think you guys can create a story, a short story in 15 minutes? Yes or no? Maybe. All right, I've got a maybe. Maybe it's not no, so that's good. How about everyone else? All right, how about Brian, Ximing, Li Teng, Manhim, Yi Ching, Shi En, Xin Yue, Pei Shan, Chen Ting, Huan Ko, Velisa, Ho Ming, Xing Chuan, Yingfeng, and Zoe. Okay, can you guys do this in 15 minutes? Sure. Okay, great. I like the confidence. Okay, sure. I like the confidence. All right. So I'll give you guys 15 minutes. All right. If you need extra time, I'll probably give you guys extra time because later we discuss just discussing only. All right. And remember, if you want to go crazy, go crazy. But make sure you have at least 5 WH questions and the story connects with each other. Even like just now, even if I change it to UFO and alien from Planet XD, the story still makes sense, even though we know that the UFO does not exist. All right. So make sure, no matter how crazy your story is, make sure it still makes sense. All right. Okay. So 15 minutes now is 45. I'll give you guys until 12 o'clock. All right. Go do your best. Okay. So in the meantime, you guys may turn off your camera for a little bit. Okay. But when we are discussing the time, you must turn back on your cameras. All right, everybody? Can I straight type on the chat? Yes, go ahead. If you guys want to type on the chat and directly show me the answer and you want me to read out your answer later, can. But if you guys want to write a piece of paper and tell the story yourself later, also can. All right, so 15 minutes, go crazy. Literally, go crazy. That's the fun about English writing, is that you can go crazy and people will still read it. All right, so 15 minutes, you may turn off your camera. Okay? All right, everyone. So it's already 12. So I hope you guys had some sort of story done. All right. So anyone here is ready for it? Anyone here ready for it? Okay, so I think some of you might type it in the chat and, you know, show it in class. So if you want to do that, you can. But of course, I would prefer if you guys, you know, tell the story from, you know, tell your story yourself so I can ask questions. All right, and try and figure out ways together on how to make that story even longer. All right. So anyone? All of you are radio silent. All of you are quiet. Okay, who here is not ready? Or who here is ready? I want to ask. So if you're ready, say yes. If you're ready, say no in the chat. Okay, I know you guys love to use the chat. Anyone? Don't leave me alone here. Okay, so someone said almost done. How about the rest of you guys? All right, so he said he needs 2 minutes. All right, you can have that 2 minutes. How about everybody else? Are you guys at least almost done? Okay, so Senior said done. Okay, that's great, Senior. I'm excited to hear. So I will randomly, all right, maybe there's no form 4 here, right? Is there form 4 here? There's one form 4 here. All right, so I'm gonna randomly pick one student from each form. So unfortunately, you're the only form 4, so I will pick you. All right, so one random from each form, unless someone volunteer. If someone volunteer, then I will not pick from that form anymore. All right, to just tell story very briefly. Okay, so I want you to, how do you tell me? I want you to tell me what WH question you choose. So for example, let's go back. All right, what WH question you choose? All right. So hold on, I can't see anything. Okay, so what WH question you choose? So tell me what are the WH questions you chose. All right, and I want you to tell me the answers to those WH questions, just like that. All right, and if you guys wrote it in a paragraph, I would like you to read your paragraph, or if you typed it in the chat, I would like to read it from the chat. All right, so everyone okay? Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready? Okay, so I think someone needs an extra 2 more minutes, and it's been 2 minutes. So everybody ready? Brian, Simin, Manhim, Yichin, Shi-En, Xin-Yue, Pei-Shan, Qian-Ting, Quan-Ko, Valisa, Ho-Ming, Xing-Chue, Nin-Feng, and Zoe. Yes. Okay. Thank you for the people who are replying me. For those who are not replying me, I don't know where you are. You don't know where. All right. Okay. Okay. I appreciate your honesty.
Three more minutes.
Okay. Someone said need 3 more minutes. Actually, I can give you that 3 more minutes because basically the rest of the class is I'm going to, you know, ask you guys to share the story. So I can give you guys 3 more minutes. All right, for those who don't know, all right, so someone just said that he don't know. All right, then it's okay. I appreciate your honesty. All right, yes, at least you try. Hopefully you tried a bit, okay? Because it's okay to not know something, but it's not okay if you did not try it. All right. So I will give you guys an extra 3 more minutes. Yeah, extra 3 more minutes. Okay. To maybe for those who are already done, you guys can edit. Okay. And I will decide who to pick. All right. I will decide who to pick. Okay. So now I'll give you guys an extra 2 more minutes. Yeah, extra 2 more minutes. All right. I think some of you might really like it. Okay. All right, everybody. Okay. So before I start choosing, everyone, you can please turn back on your cameras because again, orders from above. So everyone turn on your cameras. All right, thank you. So before I start choosing, is there anyone who likes to volunteer? I think there are some people who are done. All right. So anyone here wants to volunteer? Now I try not to force. I try to find volunteers because if you want to tell a story, I'm sure this means that your story is good. Okay. So if you guys are shy, like I said, you guys can type it out in the chat and I will read it for you to the class. All right. Anyone? Okay, so I'm gonna start choosing. All right, so okay, thank you. Got one volunteer in the class already. So do you mind typing what WH question you use? All right, just type out what WH question you use so I know what WH question you use. All right, so I'm gonna read a bit while the rest of you guys, all right, I hope you guys join, all right, because you will use this for tomorrow, next week's class. So next week's class, all right, you use only 4, it's okay, just tell me the 4 that you use. Next week's class, I will be talking about the format, especially your PT3 second essay and your, what do you call it? SPM second essay. Yeah, second essay also, where it requires WH questions to answer. All right. So let me see. Okay, so anyone who wants to send anything to the chat before I start reading? Anybody? No? All right. Okay, so I think he's typing. All right, so Kwanko sent something, okay, with the, so Infong, you're typing your WH question, so you type first. So Kwanko sent something, so who, so you use who, when, where, which, why, how. So use 5. Is it who, when, where, which, why, how? So you use 6. Okay, well done. You use 6. So who is my family and I? When is last weekend? Where at Taman Sungai Waterfall? Which is my family chose 9 a.m. Okay, so I suppose which time? All right, which time? So maybe, yep, okay, which time? But I think the which should be when also. So sometimes you can use the same question a few times. All right, sometimes you can use the same question a few times. Instead of saying which, you can have when 2 times. All right, so which chose 9 a.m. to Sungai, Taman Sungai? Why? Okay, the scenic view is beautiful. How? We are all arrived and prepare breakfast at the place. Okay, so I assume this is a picnic. All right, this is a picnic. So yes, you can have. So you are missing some in between things. Okay, so this is Kuan Ko's story. So my family and I, all right, went to Tamai Sungai waterfall last weekend. So you can have that. My family chose to go at 9 a.m. All right, maybe you can say why, because the sun is not out. All right, maybe because everyone is free, and then later in the afternoon everyone has something to do. All right, explain further. All right, why do you go Taman Sungai? Because there is a scenic view that is very beautiful. All right, how? Okay, how? Maybe you can, instead of saying we all arrived in Taman Sungai waterfall, maybe you can say how did you guys go there? We went there by bus, we went there by car. All right, my mother prepared breakfast. Then maybe you can say what sort of breakfast? Okay, is it orange juice? Is it sandwiches? Is it bacon and eggs? All right, so you can say all that. Okay, but overall, good try, Kuan Ko. Well done. All right, so next we have Yin Feng. So he used for, he said, what a tiger, who, me, when, yesterday, and where a jungle. So what is a tiger chased me? Okay, so this is a bit more crazier than Kuan Ko's picnic story, but let's see. So yesterday I went to a jungle nearby my house for adventure because I was bored. Okay, good, I was bored. That is nice. So you have when, you have what did you do, and you have why did you do it. So in the first sentence, you have 3 already. Okay, so when I turned around, I saw a cute kitten licking its body. Okay, I went to stroke the kitten. Out of the blue, there was a tiger standing not far away. Okay, suddenly it ran over quickly. I turned around and ran quickly to search for help. Suddenly I was tripped by a stone. My leg got hurt. The tiger came and tried to eat me. Suddenly I woke up, started, oh, it was just a dream. Okay, so that's a very nice story. And I think you use quite a lot of WH question. You use when, you use what, you use who. Okay, you didn't use how. You did use how. You tripped by a stone. You said how it would trip. You would trip by a stone. All right. Okay, good. All right, well done. So I will post all this in the main chat. If you guys don't mind, I'll post all this in the main chat so everyone can read also. So is there anyone who would like to volunteer also? Because I think I know some of you wrote something, but you guys are too shy to share. So please don't be shy. Everyone here is trying to learn. So anyone wants to share something else? Anyone wants to share anything else? Anyone? Anybody?
A little bit more, a little bit more.
A little bit more. Okay, so Simin wants to share something and she needs a little bit more time. All right, so while we're waiting for Simin, anyone? No one? Oh no, is this okay? All right, so we wait for Simin. So at the meantime, how about I let you guys copy the notes first? So some of you might be asking Miss Vivian why I have to copy the notes. Well, my answer to that is because I was once a student also. I still am. All right, I am just simply now an undergraduate, but I was a high school student before. I know that if I simply post the slides on Google Classroom, you guys won't bother to read it. Okay, so now I want you guys to copy, because once, at least when you're copying, all right, you guys will read while you guys are copying. Why is it not? Hold on. Let me just stop sharing and go back to the slides because I don't know why it's not letting me move. Okay, so I want you guys to copy very briefly. Okay, so each slide should take no more than 2 minutes to copy. All right, so everyone just take out a piece of pen and paper and copy. Okay, again, why do I ask you guys to copy? Because I know if you take picture, if you take screenshot, if I post it to Google Classroom, you guys will not even touch it at all. I understand. I was a student. You guys will forget about it. So at least when you're copying, you are reading it and you are looking at it. All right, so I'll give you guys 2 minutes to copy this, 2 minutes to copy this. Okay, I'll move on to the next slide and the next slide and the next slide. All right. guys are copying it? So for those who are wondering where this GIF comes from while you're copying, this GIF comes from a movie called Legally Blonde. This is Reese Witherspoon, and it's a movie about a girl who got into Harvard Law to get her boyfriend back. So yes, that's a real movie, and you guys can watch that movie. It's pretty good. Okay, it's Legally Blonde. All right. You guys have 1 more minute to copy this slide. 1 more minute to copy this slide. All right, so it's been 2 minutes. I will move on to the next slide now. Okay, moving on to the next slide. So, why is it not moving? So this one is 1 minute because it's only one. So I'll give you guys 1 minute to copy this down. 1 minute to copy this down. All right, so 1 minute has passed. I'll give you guys now to when. When is another minute. All right, give you guys another minute for when. All right, 1 minute is up. So next. So if you guys need extra time or if I'm going too fast, just let me know. I can turn back. All right. So another minute for this one. All right, so now I'm moving on to the next slide. So if you guys want, you can copy this part. All right, so 1 minute. All right, move on to the next slide. All right, moving on to the next slide now. All right, so she said see the last slide. So I will show you the last slides after I let everyone copy finish first. All right, then I will open back to the last slide. Oh, the previous slide. Okay. I'll open back to the previous slide later. All right, but you copy this one first. So just to confirm, are everyone done with this slide? So I can go back to the last slide a little bit. Everybody done with this slide? Done. All right, everybody done with this slide? Okay, so I'll go back to this last slide for like a couple seconds. All right, for a couple seconds, everybody, this slide for a couple seconds. All right, so this one done. So why? Okay, I'll give you guys 1 minute for this one. So, okay, one last person, Simin, has typed in. So, Simin, you have typed in your one already. Okay, thank you. All right, so I'll read it out later. Okay, so next slide. So this one is longer, so I'll give you guys 2 minutes. All right, give you guys 2 more minutes. All right, so everybody done? Hopefully everyone is done with this. So right now I will share the last person who wrote the essay using the WH questions. So I'm sharing it here. And so let us read together, shall we? So last Sunday, I went for a picnic with my friends. It was an exciting day for me. We sat down on the carpet and started to enjoy our scrumptious meal. That's a very good word, scrumptious. It should be a good time. However, a snake appeared and hurt Maria. We could just send Maria to the hospital quickly and end our picnic unhappily. So you have some questions here. When? Last Sunday. What did you do? You went for a picnic. With who? Your friend, Maria. How did you feel? It was an exciting day for you. All right. And what happened? All right. What do you eat? You eat scrumptious meal. What happened? A snake appeared and hurt Maria. All right. So what did you do? Send Maria to the hospital. And how did you end your picnic? You end your picnic unhappily. All right. So this is a good one. Thank you so much to Xinmin. All right, Ximing. All right. So that's it basically for today's class. So long story short, in conclusion, is that next week we are going to do our exam format. So your exam format, all right, PT3 and SPM with the WH questions. Now, the only difference between, oops, I should turn on my camera. So the only difference between SPM and PT3 is that in PT3, they sort of already give you the question. So for those who remember what notes expansion looks like, you know that there is a mind map and there's sort of a bubbles for you to answer already. So for those who don't know what is notes expansion, you will find out next week. All right, and for SPM students, the big difference between you and PT3 students is that you are not given any prompts at all. So you yourself need to remember what WH questions to ask yourself during exam, which we will discover next week. All right, so this week is just an introduction to WH questions. So next week, you will use WH questions for your exam format. All right, so everyone, can you guys turn on your cameras so I can take attendance? Everybody? Can everybody turn on your camera so I can take attendance? All right, so hi. So in the meantime, while waiting for people to turn on your cameras, does anyone has any question regarding today's lesson? Does anyone has any questions regarding today's lesson? All right, no. Okay, that's great. So everyone else, can you please turn on your camera? Kwan Ko, Xing Chen, Yit Chin, Zoe. Okay, Zoe cannot turn on, it's all right. Xin Yue, Brian, and Belisa, can you guys turn on your cameras? Okay, you have no cam. All right, okay. All right, so I will just take attendance right now. Everybody smile. All right. Okay, it's all right, Xing Chen. All right, so now, anyone has any questions? If you guys have no questions, then that's it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I hope you have an amazing week next week. Okay, whenever you're going back to school, stay safe. All right, stay healthy. All right, and Miss Mira will see you next week. Okay. Okay, so bye-bye. See you guys next week.
Teacher.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.